Welcome back to another episode of Am I Doing This Wrong? This is a part of our summer series, which is featuring different side hustle summer folks that we find to be very interesting, doing things outside of the typical 9 to 5. And so this week we have with us the interpreter, the poet, the flowicist. I'll let her introduce herself. We are here with Flo.
Hi, everyone. I'm Flo. I am a sign language interpreter. I'm also a manager for a few creative talents in Los Angeles currently. And I also do a plethora of things that regards business consulting, creative brainstorming when it's coming to like a person who wants to use their passion as an income, a source of income. So I help people with that and pretty much help people become entrepreneurs doing what they actually love to do. So, yeah.
Okay. See, I'm even learning stuff about you. That's awesome. So cool. And so, yeah, exactly. The reason we wanted to do this series is because obviously us doing this podcast, it takes a lot of, personal time, personal motivation. And you don't really end up doing it just for the accolades. You do it because you love it, because it's passion, right? And so, so whichever one you would like to talk about, obviously you are a person of many hats, which we love. So our first question, just to jump right into it, is how long have you been interested in your side hustle? So how long have you been interested in doing something outside of the typical 9 to 5?
Yeah. I've always been interested in poetry since I was like in third grade, but obviously I didn't realize that it could become a source of income until I was like 2021 when I first published, self-published my first poetry book called Her Name Is Flo of March 2017. So when people actually like purchased it, because I just wanted a physical copy, literally. I was like, I'm gonna type it out. I have an illustrator. I just want a physical copy. I just want one for myself, maybe a few for my family members. And realizing like, oh, it's on Amazon. And people were like, oh, you have a book. And I'm not even promoting at that point. People are just buying it. I was just like, oh, like, wow. This is a side hustle. This is another stream of income. And so from there, I've been really interested in seeing the other things that I'm really good at or I really enjoy and see how other people like it. And if they do, how much would they pay for it? And kind of going from there is how that has became interested in doing that.
Wow, that is so cool. Awesome. And we will definitely have your links posted in this episode. So if you are interested, please check out her book. Awesome. And so I guess you kind of touched on this, but what made you decide to start, let's go with your book. What made you decide to start that side hustle?
Yeah. So again, I'm just thinking about it right now. Everything that I do that has a price tag on it, I genuinely just wanted to do it to have my own copy. Like it was right. It was like I had shirts at some point. I want a shirt with my words on it. I want a book that I could physically read and play with. I wanted to create my own business and do my own creative plan. Mm-hmm. And I just realized the template that I did for me, I could do for someone else. So it was a lot of just like, I just want to do it for me so I can see how cool it is. And then other people kind of inspired me to sell it or to share it because they're like, I want that too. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. Like, let's do that. Wow. So yeah, that's what I did. I didn't know at first. I was like, how do I make a physical book? And I Googled it and Amazon popped up and they have a self-publishing thing. And I was just like, oh, okay, it was all experiment. Even to this day, I still experiment with all these things that I find online that I research. And I'm just like, okay, cool. I know how to do that now. So let me teach someone else that doesn't know how to do that. And that's just kind of how the domino effect goes.
Yes, no, that's so cool. And that really is like your own passion project that ends up being able to be like a template for others, right? Like you found yours, you kind of put it together and now other people can use it and you can like, market off of that or just do it because you have the skills to do it. So that is so incredible. Wow. How cool. Okay, awesome. And so you did touch on, that's your main goal when starting your side hustle. Has anything changed now that obviously you said you self-published in 2017, which snaps for self-publishing because I know that is no easy feat, but that's super awesome. And I know that more of the income goes directly to you, which is also really good. So that's awesome. But yeah, has anything changed since then for you in your, ventures?
Yeah, a lot has changed because everything was so experimental in YouTube and, and now I'm kind of like, I've done business taxes for 3 years now. So now I'm like understanding tax write-offs and that I could qualify for certain grants or loans as a business like owner. So like now it's getting more like I should have got a degree in business, because now I'm seeing this other side of bigger companies. Like I'm realizing why there's those weird $2.61 fee on certain things, because a lot of like to run a business is expensive. Like I know people say that, but no, it really is, because even me, like I'm a very much small business and I love it. But I still have to pay for like Adobe Creative Cloud every month, right? I gotta pay for to keep my printer running. So I do like some ink or whatever, $5 a month, something like that, right? Like I have to do that all the time. And then even to the point where when I'm doing sign language interpreting more like out of state in other cities, I now have to purchase my own Wi-Fi hotspot just in case I get like a last minute assignment on Zoom or something. And I'm like, oh, I can't trust the hotel's Wi-Fi. So I'm starting to realize like, these side hustles are kind of becoming full-time hustles, and also becoming my main source of income. So it's like, it is that 9 to 5, and not even 9 to 5, it's like 24/7, right?
There you go.
That's the difference is. I try to tell people like, oh, quit your 9 to 5 to a 24/7. Like that's really what it is. And it's fun because you are the boss, and you could say, oh, I'm having this week vacation, which I just did, right? But also you're gonna have to pay that little business tax fee every year. You're gonna have to drop this on this, for your Wi-Fi every month. You might have to buy a new modem. You might have to buy a new. So that's the difference between then and now, is how much money I'm making, but how much money I'm spending to continue to make more. And a real business owner and being like, oh, like reading contracts and creating NDAs, creating stuff like that is like, definitely did not think about that 2017, publishing a book and having a cute t-shirt.
Right.
Totally different. So.
Yeah, definitely. As you expand, the responsibilities expand as well. That's really interesting. Also, you just taught me something new. I did not know you could buy a mobile like Wi-Fi hotspot. I did not know that was a thing. So very good pro tip. Okay. And that's different from just like your phone hotspot, right? Like
it's like you could play your PS4 off of it. Like it's a real like thing, depending on how much like high speed or 5G or whatever. I got it through my carrier. So that was thing too, where I was like calling my carrier and I'm just like, what else y'all got in here? Like besides phones. And then oh, we got iPads, we got Apple Watches, we got hotspots. I was like, wait, what? Like, you start, as a business owner, even a side hustler, like you start seeing all the other little things that's in the behind the scenes of your 9 to 5 company or just your regular part-time job. You're like, oh, this is all this for all of this. Got it.
Yes, that's wonderful. Okay, dropping some knowledge. Thank you. We'll definitely be following up on that because the Wi-Fi issue is real, especially in the sign language interpreting game. Okay, so we do have a question about, is your goal to make this your main hustle? I guess you do have a few. So I would say, are you working on continuing in like the writing and poetry to make that a little bit more robust? Have you continued in that?
Yeah. So that's the thing about being the jack of all trades, master of none. You know what I mean? Like, I love everything that I do, and that's why I'm doing it. And I'm glad that I'm young, that I could just be this free fluid, like, oh, I'm going to New York one day. Oh, like I'm happy about that. But you got to be realistic. Like, am I going to retire? Like, how do I, like, insurance? What? Like, there's a lot of other stuff that you got to think about that I'm kind of thinking about slowly but surely. And I feel like my ultimate goal is to work for myself full time in one sector, and letting the other things that I like to do just kind of be another fun project that may or may not get money, but I'm not worried about the money because I have that main source to make sure that it fuels everything else. So I think what I'm doing now, jumping in and out of fields, is because I'm trying to get all that money together, and then here's my amount each month. That's I'm stable, but I would rather have that one thing that stabilizes everything, and the rest just like little fun. Like, I don't know, like Kylie Jenner, like I don't know, I think of like that type of stuff. Like one day she's like doing the skincare line, one day she's doing a makeup line, one day she's doing a swim line. I want to do that, like, where there's still that source of whatever it is, but the rest is just, I want to do this summer.
So yes, love that. So your main goal is to make this all just an encompassing this is my brand and I offer these things.
Yeah, just being, or I wouldn't say real, but just, yeah, being a business owner. Like I definitely want to take some classes one day. I just want to just get it where it's like, this is legit, like
Right.
LLC, like
Yes.
mileage is written off. Like this is just legit.
Right.
You know, you can contract me, you cannot. Like that's kind of really my end goal.
Okay, love that. Yes, love that for you and us, because we're looking towards the same goals. So I'm like taking notes. All right, awesome. And then also, how do you promote your side hustles? So, what did that look like over time? Has it changed?
Honestly, it's always been word of mouth. And I'm working on doing social media marketing because I know it's in there. I know TikTok's going, I can see it, you can see it, right?
Mm-hmm.
I just haven't had enough time, unfortunately, to kind of set that plan out. Okay. But however, I have noticed word of mouth, even from 2017, has always helped me through. And I love that. So I think that's my biggest thing. So I remember the time that I was creating this book, I also had t-shirts to promote the book. I was working at a movie theater, and like all of us were like from the same college, same age. We will turn up after a shift because we would work every holiday as well. So like we were like a family, right? And I just remember I was just like, y'all, if I dropped a t-shirt, would y'all buy them? And it was like literally all of like what 10 of us, 12 of us on staff. Yeah, here's a Venmo. Like sending me Venmos. I haven't even printed the shirts yet. You know what I'm saying? Yes. So that was a big part of just like, oh, I'm doing this. You down to buy? Yeah. Buy. And the books, yeah, bye. And then I put one picture on Instagram, bye. Like it was a lot of like, hey, Ashley or Flo, like you're really cool. Like, let me buy this. I'm like, okay, cool. So, and it's even with sign language interpreting, a lot of it's just like, you sign, right? Oh, can you this coffee shop event, can you? Okay. Right. So, even this podcast, right? Like we work together, we talked. They're like, do you want to talk about this? Okay, cool. Like,
right.
So far, it's been word of mouth, and I'm very blessed for that. I definitely have been thinking about taking some time to really promote all the things that I can do, because I don't believe I have told everyone what I do. It usually happens like for example, someone's like, oh, I want to have a consultation with you. They're just thinking I'm about to help them build an LLC. And then by the end of the phone call, I have created their business plan, and they didn't even know that was something I do. So that's what I want to like promote on social media, the exact things that I do. So people who really are looking for that exact thing can come to me, because I know there's a lot that's just like, well, I'm not interested in publishing poetry. I'm not gonna set up an LLC. And it's like, no, but I do other stuff. Like,
right.
So, yeah.
Yes, love that. And we just actually did an episode a few weeks back on imposter syndrome and what that looks like. And one of the things was naming your skills, like writing down your skills and naming them is one of the biggest things too. Not only giving you yourself that confidence, but also letting other people know that this is what you're available for. So snaps to that, putting that out there to let people know you can come to me for many things and it might help you shape whatever you're creating anyway. So yes, love that. Wonderful. Okay. And so to continue on that same route, what piece of advice would you give to someone who wants to pursue their own side hustle?
Research, and don't let yourself or other people tell you that you cannot do it. That's the biggest thing. Like if you really want to fly a plane, I'm pretty sure YouTube that. I'm not saying get in the plane, but I'm saying I'm pretty sure like a YouTube video is going to tell you I went to this school and I did this. This is how because even going back to even me being a sign language interpreter, I wasn't in an interpreting educational program. I had great interpreters who were mentors, who really, I read books, I passed, the knowledge exam. I read them books. I had the degree in depth studies, right? I had all this background support. And now I'm in this field. So even that there tells you like, but when I was younger, I thought you have to go into this program. And if you don't make it, you can't be an interpreter. Impossible. And that's not true.
Right.
Even it's not true. Like, even being a consultant, I always thought you gotta have a certain degree, you gotta have certification to be a consultant. No.
Exactly.
So that's my biggest thing. It's just the research, experiment. Don't be afraid to ask questions of people who are in the field. That's having someone that's in the field that did do all them certifications and all that stuff from back when. Yeah, mentor with them, because they'll probably tell you themselves, like, if I had the opportunity that I had now, I probably wouldn't have took all them degrees. You know what I mean?
Right. Yes.
Look at me, like I have a master's degree and it's great. It was a great experience, but I'm not really doing it. But it taught me a lot about like grant writing or proposal writing or research. Yeah, that's what it taught me. Researching, looking in between the lines, finding articles, finding people in like really investigating a situation. That's what it taught me. Yeah. So it's like, if I had a mentee, I would teach them all that. They don't got to take my whole master's degree to learn that. They could have just learned that from me. So that's the biggest thing is mentorship. Don't be afraid and research.
Yes. Love all those. And you are so right, because as much as I love schooling and it's taught me so much, if I could have saved a couple $1,000s, it wouldn't have been a bad thing. I'm just saying. I feel like I could have got that mentorship elsewhere, but yes, wonderful advice. Awesome. All right. So first of all, thank you so much for answering those questions just wonderfully. Seriously, take notes if you can, and we will have all of Flo's information in our notes. So before we wrap up, did you ever feel throughout this process that you were doing it wrong?
Ooh, all the time. I still think that. But I'm also not afraid of owning up to mistakes either. And I feel like if anyone's interested in being an entrepreneur of any kind, you're gonna lose some money doing something that I'm sorry. It's okay though. It's gonna come back. I promise you, it's gonna come back. Don't even trip. Like, because I have bought machines. Because at first I wanted to do like this whole like t-shirt, clothing, poetry line, which I probably still do at some point. But I was realizing I'm gonna make clothing. It's gonna be crazy fashion designer vibes. I am not. One of my clients is a fashion designer, and when we work together, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm not that. You are that. I am not that. So, and not to say, and I don't ever say anything's a waste, but I haven't touched this machine in a cool year. I got a bunch of blank tees and vinyl and stuff in the closet, and it's just like, I'm just waiting for someone to get married so I could just be like, you want some like vinyl shirts or something? I could whip that up for you, because like at this point, for my business in particular, it's not. I don't need it at this point. So right. Yeah, I do a lot of stuff wrong. I buy a bunch of stuff. I'm just like, what am I doing? I bought tripods and all types of stuff. And I still hold my phone like this doing it. It's like, what am I doing? So yeah.
Love that. Yes. Oh my gosh. Yeah, you're right. I mean, that's a part of the experimental process, and it can't be all or nothing. If you go all out and you only make, 15 shirts, hey, you did that, and now you have the skills. And I might be hitting you up for them wedding shirts, because that's also like spreading your brand as well. If people see something that you made just, from word of mouth, and they like it, you don't know where that's going to, go next, right? I mean, then you could just be making bridal shirts and you don't even know it. You know what I mean? Like, who's to say what's right and what's wrong? So Thank you. Wonderful answer. All right, awesome. So just to wrap it up, where can people find you and your side hustle? So any plugs, websites, social media, anything that you would like to include here?
Yeah, so the website is www.floetyc.com, Floetyc.com. And then my main like business hub of my Instagram is at Floetyc at Floetyc. And anything interpreting is at Flo the Turk. So I have two different handles for two different things, but the website is always for everything else. And my email that I want more people to use is hello@floetyc.com. Use that for literally any type of questions. I respond quickly through email and DM. Yeah, find me all there.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much. This has been absolutely incredible. And we do just want to throw out, as Flo said, she does have an email that you can reach her on. And that was one of the biggest things. We wanted to make sure that this series had ways for people to actually get into contact, because the biggest thing for our podcast has also been word of mouth and our YouTube channel. But so many people have said that they do go to our notes and use like the research that we find and stuff. So please, please, please hit her up. Like she said, she might just figure out your business plan for you. So please go on ahead, give it a shot, and don't be scared to try it, because those side hustles could become your main hustle. We're in the flesh looking at it.
Yes.
Yes. So anything else you'd like to say before we wrap up?
I don't think so. I'm just super happy to be here. And again, look at them show notes. support this beautiful podcast that always has some really cool topics, by the way, because I was interpreting for something. I was like, "Ooh, I wish I was in this." Like I was
right. The line between am I still interpreting or can I engage is a very fine line. We'll say that. Sometimes the face says it all, but wonderful. Well, thank you so much for coming on, and hopefully in the future we'll have you back, depending on what what it may bring. We always like to have returning guests, especially just to, check up with you,
Yeah.
So thank you so much, Flo, and we will see you all in the next episode. Don't forget, you can always rate, review, and subscribe on YouTube. Follow us at Wrong the Podcast on Twitter, Instagram, and get at us at our email, wrongthepodcast@gmail.com, just in case you have any questions or you would like us to get into contact with anybody that we have on the podcast. Otherwise, have a wonderful night, evening, morning, wherever you are, and we'll see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.